Alright, so boom. The man that apparently used black culture and black people to get to where he is, then turned his back on them. I'm probably about to get kicked out of the Black Panthers for listening to Post Malone. He ain't gonna never live down the allegations that he pretended to be black to get on, then started doing other stuff when he got famous enough. But hey, this man is super successful in music, and White Iverson is the only song of his that I listen to. So I gotta see what this other heat in his catalog is. Per usual, if a song is not in this video, it's because I already know the song, or I just simply chose not to listen to it from the recommendations. But regardless of me saying this, I get people complaining all the time that a particular song wasn't included anyway. So we getting straight to it. The first song by Post Malone that I selected for my own random choice is 40 Funk. So I chose this song because instead of choosing from his albums, I wanted to see if Post Malone had any mixtapes, and lo and behold, I came across one mixtape that he released in 2016 called August 26th that he released on May 12th. The title of this comes from the original release date of his debut album Stoney. You know, one of those let me give my fans a little something something before the album dropped. Stoney was supposed to come out on August 26th, but ended up not releasing until 4 months later on December 9th. So with that delay, it's very easy to look back on the title of this mixtape and go, well, this already didn't age well.
Now people were also disappointed that your album was supposed to come out, and you even named
yeah, my mixtape.
Your mixtape
to the date that it's supposed to come out.
That had to be a big disappointment.
Yeah,
I saw you even had to post about that.
That sucks.
The song 40 Funk is one of those living young, wild, and free songs, doing what you want to do in your life, not worrying about what the consequences may be. And typically when artists make songs with this topic, the number one thing that they're referring to when they mean, oh, I'm gonna do this now and not worry about the consequences until later, it's about drugs. This whole song sees Post singing about popping mollies, drinking lean and 40s, and just how at this point in life, he doesn't care what happens to him because he's having too much fun. Crazy enough, he even acknowledges the dangers of his behavior by saying how he wakes up in cold sweats and how he won't be alive long if he keeps acting this way. So as you see, he acknowledges the pitfalls of his actions, but hey, this is how young people are. They don't even think about what their life is going to be like when they're much older. They just do what they do now. Post Malone was 20 years old when this song came out, by the way, so yeah, 20 years old, you still have many years of life left to go. I actually do like this song, but what scares me about it is that it looks like Post Malone hasn't changed. What I'm about to say will sound super judgmental, but Post Malone just looks like somebody who regularly indulges in these activities, lean and molly and such. So even though it's been 8 years since this track came out, it wouldn't surprise me if he's still like this. If he is clean, then hey, that's a good thing, but it would be hard for me to believe that. Now let's go on to our first Instagram recommendation. From @TheFreeChains is the song Love Hate Letter to Alcohol featuring Fleet Foxes. Okay, so we got our first storytelling song already. First, let me say that if you're somebody that doesn't like long intros on songs, then this song may not immediately hit because Post doesn't start singing until 50 seconds into the track. All before that is the beat playing and some harmonies from Fleet Foxes. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol is from Posty's 12 Carat Toothache album, and y'all, I have never even heard of this album before working on this video. Seriously, he has 5 albums and I have heard of all of these. Album number 1, Stoney. Album number 2, Beerbongs Bentleys. Album number 3, Hollywood's Bleeding. And then album number 5, his latest album, Austin. I've heard of all of these, but I looked up this song and saw from 12 Carat Toothache. I instantly assumed it was an EP or something, but I saw it was his whole 4th album. I was like, when the hell did this come out? So like I was saying, with this being a storytelling track, Love Hate Letter sees Post telling the audience the events of him waking up from being laid out on the floor. One of his friends had to drive him home. He looked in the mirror and had to call his dentist because he realized he had less teeth in his mouth. He got punched so hard by someone that he thought he died. And as the song goes on, it's revealed that all of these things was an aftermath of a night that he had at the club while he was on a drunken stupor. As he's naming the things happening to him, he continuously asks, why did you have to go and ruin my day? Who he's asking this question to, or what he's asking it to, should I say, it's that Doc liquor that he was drinking. He acknowledges that he's the one that has an issue drinking, but it's one of his coping mechanisms, which he reveals on the chorus by saying, now, although the song is partially titled Love Letter to Alcohol, this entire song is him saying the negative things that happened to him from consuming it. He's speaking to his Doc liquor and yelling, "You're the reason why I got punched in the club last night. You're the reason why I woke up from being unconscious with some of my teeth missing. Why the hell did you have to go and ruin my day? Like, why did you have to fuck up my night?" He doesn't say anything positive about drinking at all in the track. The whole song is just the hate letter part essentially, but it's still a good listen. If you're someone who deals with alcohol abuse, then this song may hit a little too close to home. But hey, I will argue that's what makes it good. The stuff that hits home could be the best record sometimes. The title of this next song looks like something where Malone is about to take responsibility for his actions instead of blaming it on that Doc liquor. Let's find out. From Instagram by @evan.thorn is the track Blame It On Me. It's not my fault, it's not my fault, blame it on me. This song sounds like movie trailer music. Like if you sit down and listen to Blame It On Me, you can totally imagine hearing this being played in the trailer of a drama movie or a drama TV show. Fortunately, that's not a complaint, as Blame It On Me is another nice track. This one sees Post singing about the pitfalls of his fame, having people tear him down all the time, people using him and driving him crazy, and he acknowledges that people enjoy seeing him go through this pain. With all of these things mentioned, Post also says how he isn't the one to blame for this because nobody knows what fame would do to them. And it's just the struggles you have to deal with when you get said fame. Now there is a big juxtaposition with this song, as throughout the chorus and the bridge, he admits that some of it is indeed his fault because this is the lifestyle that he wanted to chase. Having the money, having the nice clothes, the jewelry, this is the cost that you have to pay for wanting all of these riches. When he sings, "It's all my fault that I'm addicted to the clothes, it's all my fault, I paid the cost, yeah." This is the part where he does admit that it's on him. That I'm addicted to the clothes, it's all my fault, I paid the cost, yeah. What adds to the enjoyability of the song is his emotion behind it. You can hear both the sadness and anger in his singing as he comes to terms with the demons in regards to being famous. The fact that he knows some of what he's going through is his own fault, since this is the life that he chose. Blame It On Me is a good emotional track, and it must be a slept on track or something, because in terms of YouTube views, this is the 5th least viewed song on the Beerbongs and Bentley album. The only songs with lower views than this are Other Side, Sugar Wraith, Zack and Codeine, and then the least viewed song from the album is Same Bitches. There's a live version of Blame It On Me performed in Europe on YouTube that has 7 million views itself, so I guess that would help his case by not being bottom 5 anymore, since you can add that 7 mil and make it 24 million. None of these other 4 songs are going to be in this video, by the way, but the people who recommended Blame It On Me, yeah, this was a good one. The next song, recommended on Twitter by @__adaptation, is the song Something Real. Okay, this song feels exactly the same as Blame It On Me for a couple of reasons. One, simply because of how it sounds. When I said the production and feel of Blame It On Me makes it sound like something that would be played in a drama series, you can totally say that about Something Real. This sounds like movie trailer music as well. Give me something I can feel. Austin himself produced this song along with Louis Bell, and they both produced Blame It On Me. Something Real is the second song from his Austin album, so 5 years passed in between these 2 albums and y'all still sound the same when y'all link up. Something Real is the only song from his Austin album in this video, and this is another song of him singing about how, despite the fancy cars, clothes, and hoes, he still feels lonely. Even with being able to take vacations to Greece, wear flashy Louis Vuitton, Patek watches, driving a 720S McLaren, even with all of those things, there's so many downsides to being rich and famous that all he can do to cope is pop pills and such. But he wishes that he didn't have to deal with these downsides. He would give all of these things away in order to be at peace and be a quote-unquote normal person. This is very similar to Blame It On Me, where he said it's kind of his own fault for dealing with these troubles because these are exactly the exotic things that he wanted when he was younger and coming up. Now, there's one part where I don't really like his singing. During one of the choruses in between the "give me something I can feel" lines, Austin starts singing, "I was in Maldives sipping burgundy, Prada on my dick, Prada on my sleeve. I could play that pussy like it's for release." I don't like the way he sings these lines though. It's more like, "I was in Maldives sipping burgundy, Prada on my dick, Prada on my sleeve. I could play that pussy like it's for release. I could play that pussy like it's for release." It don't sound crazy bad, I just don't think it's good. My favorite line in this whole song though is the top of the first verse where he says, "Stop, the gear's too high, this is overload. And no matter what car is sitting outside, it's a lonely road." That's fire because it paints the picture of how tough it is dealing with his fame. And even with the nice materialistic things he has, he still feels like he's alone in the world. The song overall is cool, I just think it's a weaker version of "Blame It On Me." So hearing those songs back to back kind of made me go, didn't I just listen to this song? Let's start with the YouTube recommendations now. From @Steven Got a 650 is the track "Waiting for Never." We got another dub here, man. I like this one. I may have to check out that album that I've never heard of, 12 Carat Toothache, because both songs from this album that are in this video, Love Hate Letter to Alcohol being the other one, are some enjoyable tracks. Waiting for Never is actually a deluxe edition track for the album, and it's not produced by Post Malone himself, so I can get away from the montage music for a while. Waiting for Never is the first relationship song in this video, and for a lot of the lines in the song, instead of Post talking about a partner of his, you can look at it as him talking about himself. The track is about how Post has been in this dysfunctional, toxic relationship for so long that he's just gotten used to the toxicity. He was ignoring the signs and the red flags in the relationship because he truly wanted it to work out. And to show that point, he uses metaphors such as, "Trying to make a home out of house while it's burning down." The song is titled Waiting for Never because Post realizes that waiting on this partner of his to become a better person is something that's simply never going to happen. And waiting for it to happen is essentially waiting for never. I really like his singing and how his emotion is felt through his singing. And I really rock with these lines right here. "When all these tattoos fade, I will never look back, you'll be in the same place. I keep telling myself if I wanted you to change, I'll be waiting for never." The metaphor of "when all these tattoos fade" is so clever to me because tattoos don't fade. Like, they stay on you until forever, unless you get them removed. But ideally, they're permanent art. But Post's wishes for this person to change are so far gone that it's like a "when pigs fly" analogy. When I see a pig start flying, I'm still not going to look back at being with you because I already know you're going to be the exact same person. And you're most likely going to be like this for all eternity. So no matter how many years pass, us getting back together is just not going to happen. Waiting for Never is definitely a song that makes me want to check out this 12 Carat Toothache project. His singing on here is so soothing. I gotta go to another YouTube recommendation off of that one. From @Lucario DX Aura Storm, we have the song Never Understand featuring Larry June. Larry June and Post Malone? Okay. Man, one of these days, I gotta make a part 3 to my rappers I refuse to listen to video and put Larry June in there. Because this man has been getting more and more praise over the years, and every time I ask a Larry June fan what's the one track that they recommend, that one go-to track of his that you can put a newer listener onto, they always say, "Man, I can't give you just one song, man. His whole catalog is that nice. You gotta check out everything." When your own fans don't even know what songs of yours to recommend people, then that's outrageous. Crazy enough, this song, Never Understand, is from that August 26th project that I found my personal random choice from earlier. I didn't expect y'all to recommend any songs from this mixtape, so that's surprising. And the song is surprisingly decent. Never Understand ain't nothing too crazy, but I like the song. The track is the fellas talking about all of the changes they've had happen to them since becoming more known. Admittedly, everything they mention is super cliche. You hear every artist say these things, such as everybody who said I wouldn't make it, now they want to be my friend. Old hoes who didn't give me a chance, acting like they want me now. It's your typical more money, more problem song. Another thing that's typical is Post, again, talking about alcohol, Xanax and such. I feel like I'm going to hear this on nearly every song I listen to from him. But, you know, he rapping about getting the groupies from all of his shows and whatnot, trying to see if the hoes would be down to do the most with Post on the tour bus. Said they see me at the show, they was in the front row, they wanna fuck, I told them bitches come and jump on my bus. We got Molly, and we got Zaz, and we got Trey. And the entire message behind the song is that you'll never understand the experiences that Post and Larry have had in their life if you aren't going through this yourself. Larry June has an unnecessary tempo switch in his verse. He only has 12 lines, and for the last 4, the production changes a little bit and he raps with a quicker flow. It's very not needed, especially when he ends his verse by saying, "Goddamn, sock it to me." Larry the Lobster was just tolerable on this song. I don't hate him on here, but I'm not fond of it either. This is the song that actually led me to find Post Malone's 2 Breakfast Club interviews. And man, Charlamagne the God was horrible to Post in the first interview. Just saying stupid stuff like, "Since you named your song White Iverson, you better be good at basketball." At one point, Post said how he liked having cornrows, and Charlamagne immediately responded with, "White people with cornrows have always looked very stupid to me." This ain't a shot at you personally, Post. I'm just saying. He even told Post Malone's girlfriend at the time that as Post gets more and more famous, he's going to cheat on her at some point, so she better get ready for the heartbreak. Just a bunch of other stuff that's like, dude, what is wrong with, why would you even ask him that or say that? Y'all gotta go listen to his first interview with them when y'all get a chance. Charlotte was so pathetic in this. It's a very short interview, it's like 17 minutes long. Y'all won't find it on the Breakfast Club YouTube channel because they removed it after all the backlash they got. But there's another channel that has it. For now, let's move on to the final YouTube recommendation. From @ArtificialWells is the song Stay. Stay a little longer if you convince me and tell me all the things that you have against me. Okay, so it didn't take long for us to find another relationship track. In Stay, Post and his partner have had a constant breakup to make up relationship, and Post is kind of admitting that the relationship not working is his own wrongdoing, with his issues such as his drinking habits being a problem and his tendency to not really listen when his partner wants to speak to him. And throughout the track, he tells this beautiful woman that the next night after he's not intoxicated anymore and when he's not acting crazy, that's when he'll fully listen to her. And he hopes that during that conversation, she doesn't end the relationship due to the way he's been acting. My favorite part of this whole song is the very beginning of the second verse, which was actually the snippet that I played when I introduced the song. That's when he went, "Stay a little longer if you convince me and tell me all the things that you have against me." That part sounds so good. Now there's a live acoustic version of this song that he performed in Italy in 2022. Stay away from this version. The studio version is much better. On this live version, his voice is too rock star-ish to me. The singing doesn't sound good. It's way more wow sounding. Tell me that it's all okay. That's how that version sounds. Can we have a little conversation? Figure it out with no intoxication. Keep that entirely. I was actually offended by that version. The studio version of the track, that's the one I recommend. But speaking of recommendations, let's go back to Twitter for another one. From @NighttimeQ, here's the track I Fall Apart. Okay, we got another rare Post Malone L. Before this point, the only track I disliked was Something Real, but I gotta add I Fall Apart to that list. I didn't really care for this song. And the thing is, this is the only song from the Stoney album that's in this video. So guess what album of his I'm not about to listen to. No, I'm playing. I'm not about to dismiss this whole album because of one song. Looking at the track list, I've heard a few other songs on here already. Stoney is the album that has White Iverson and Congratulations. But I've also heard the song Feel before, and the only reason I know Feel is because it features Kehlani, and I'm a fan of them. I know you like it when I act like I'm still shy, then turn around. Now, I Fall Apart is another heartbreak song about how devastated one becomes when the person they love breaks up with them, tells them they aren't good enough, and other hurtful things. This person that you thought cared about you, at the drop of a dime, they start acting like they never cared about you and make you feel like you weren't important in their life as much as you thought they were. For Post, the only way he can cope with this breakup is drowning his sorrows in Doc liquor, driving around with tears in his eyes, and trying to hold back his feelings for his ex. But he knows the pain is taking over him. Tell me you don't want me no more. These lyrics are kind of simplistic to me. I feel like Post didn't do anything with this song to make it specific to him. Literally every single word of this song makes it a very generic, my heart is broken song. You can give this song to a ton of different artists and the track would be the same. Austin Richard Post could have done something with this track to make it unique to him. Tell a small real life story, name drop the person you're talking about, something like that. This is one of those songs where a shit ton of Post Malone fans will tell you, oh, you can just feel the emotion in his words. And when you watch the live performance, you can see that this song really means a lot to him. Unlike songs like Blame It On Me and Waiting For Never, I'm not feeling the emotion strongly with this one. Now I'm sure that it is true, he probably did write this about someone important in his life. However, Post himself said that he wrote it when he was in high school and the girl he was talking about is a real asshole.
You know, I wrote this song about when I was a little naive high school boy, so this is about a high school shorty that we won't disclose, but she's a real McAsshole.
But nah, I'm not that moved by this one. I think this song would hit more if his singing was better. His singing is not all that to me on I Fall Apart. And like I mentioned, although I'm sure he's speaking from personal pain and experiences, the subject matter of this song is super simple. Next up is the last Instagram recommendation from @SGETrills. It's the track Candy Paint.
Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop.
The track Candy Paint was featured on the soundtrack to Fast and the Furious 8, but it was also released as the second single to Beerbongs Bentleys. I'ma be real, this entire song sounds like it could have been made by P&B Rock, which is wicked because P&B had a song on the Fast and the Furious soundtrack too, with horses.
All these horses in my car got me going fast. I just wanna do the dash with my pedal.
But taking a break from all of the other serious songs about relationships and mental health troubles that we've been hearing so far, Candy Paint is just a flexing song. So the whole thing is Post highlighting his wealth, getting top from Yo Girlfriend, and how fast he can burn through money and then earn it right back. $100,000 on the table, top half price my whip, same price my watch.
Got no jumper, but I ball a lot. Bitch on your Stoney, I do what I want.
There's not much to say, that's seriously all the song is. Literally everything about this song comes off like a P&B Rock track. Not saying that he bit P&B style because both artists really came out and blew up around the same time, but his flow on here and the type of melody that Post uses sounds like P&B. Even without that comparison, this song isn't all that anyway, so I'm not even dogging it solely for that reason. For me, to hear all these other Posty songs about having addictions, dealing with the struggles of fame and such, to hear a simple ass track like, yeah, I can do things that your man can't, my watch costs half as much as my car does, if you double cross me there would be repercussions, overall it's just an okay track to have on. And lastly, the final song. The featured artist on this track is making me very eager to hear this because I can't imagine what this collaboration would sound like. So, the last song in this video, recommended on Twitter by @GoG1L, is Ball For Me featuring Nicki Minaj.
What it tastes like, yo, what it tastes like, yo. They wanna know what it tastes like, yo. All this ice, it just tastes like snow.
Now, I don't know if y'all just really love this Beerbongs Bentleys album or something, but this is the 5th song in this video from that album. When I select songs for this series, I don't look up beforehand what album the songs are on, so I don't really be knowing what album songs be on until I start listening to them and fully working on the video. And I don't recall the last time I listened to 5 songs from the same project. I guess this is y'all way of telling me this is his best album. Y'all comment y'all opinion on what y'all think Posty's best and worst album is. Ball For Me is the 4th single from the project, and I'm still surprised that Nicki Minaj of all people has a song with this man. Apparently there was supposed to be a music video for this song, as it should be because it's such a huge collab, but the video got scrapped because Post Malone said he didn't like his visuals in the video. And because he wasn't proud of how it looked, he just scrapped the entire thing. This happened nearly 6 years ago, and there are still people who are hungry for what that video would have looked like. I wasn't necessarily surprised by this because of the title of the song, but Ball For Me is another flexing track. But in addition to the nice stuff that he has, he also talks about the fancy and flashy things that he can buy his woman. I got so much bread, I can give my girl $30,000 and she can spend it on whatever she wants to. Plus, he touches on how he can be so busy with his rapper lifestyle, touring and whatnot, that he goes, I can't even go shopping with my girl sometimes, so I'ma just send her money so she can ball out for the both of us. I do like the part where he went, I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you St. Laurent now. Oh. Nicki Minaj's portion of the song takes the role of Post's girlfriend, and she raps and sings about how she's a flexer and a boss as much as her man is. She gets looks everywhere she goes, other bitches want to be like her, and when it comes to her man, she considers him a 10, and she considers herself a 10. So when they're together, it's a perfect match. That's actually my favorite line in Nicki's verse when she goes, "If you a 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you." A 10, add 10, I 10, all sound like a 10. I attend to my man because of how good he looks and how well he treats me. And these other niggas that want me get pissed when I tend to you instead of them. That was hard. But because this is Nicki Minaj, you know she has to find an excuse to have a singing part in her verse. And a lot of her features, there always has to be a smooth, like 10-second part where she's singing instead of rapping. She loves to do that.
Get kimonos and let's fly to Tokyo. Pretty, pretty, please, baby, won't you?
Hey, I like Ball For Me. I like Ball For Me. I might need to join the mob that's tweeting about wanting the Ball For Me video to finally come out. Come on, Post. The streets need that. So the question of, am I sleeping on Post Malone? Man, yes I was. This dude got it. This dude got it right here. Post Malone makes really powerful music, whether powerful in the sense of his emotion behind his lyrics, or powerful because of the production. Like I mentioned with a few songs earlier, his choice of beats makes his songs sound very anthemic, and it sounds like they would be playing during a montage of dramatic events. He can lighten it up with less serious tracks such as Candy Paint and Ball For Me, but when it comes to serious tracks, he tends to sing about popping pills and drinking alcohol to battle his demons and whatnot. He talks about these things kind of often to the point where once you know what one of his songs is about, it can kind of take you out of it already and make you go, okay, he's singing about this again. I have a feeling that Post Malone doesn't have any bad songs. The tracks that I didn't like in this video were still just alright. If he actually has like a flat out bad song, I would love to know what it is because I can't imagine that. A bad song from him gotta be like his early days when he first came out. All in all, from what I've heard, I think he's really good. I still don't know how he has 9 Diamond certified songs, but I do see how he has many fans and how he blew up to be a popular artist in the first place.
Outro.